and welcome to Long Beach and with Mo yet again in Long Beach. In the studio we have with us Mr. James Daniel Walsh. He's written a couple of books, and as you know, I'm flying around all over the place and I never have time to read books, and I thought, you know, when I was supposed to read this book, but my friend Kathy Lopez right here nicked the book from me and said, just let me read a few pages. Carried on reading it, so she is going to interview James.
Hello, James.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I did read the book. I read The Manic Expression right there, the first book. I thought it was a very good book. The stories that you have in there, were there any similarities in the book that pertain to your real life?
Yeah, it could be described as kind of a fictional autobiography. Occasionally situations that are taken almost verbatim, but a lot of them were fictionalized and exaggerated.
Mind you, there was 11 stories that you had in the book. All of them were great. I loved every single one of them.
Thank you.
Upon reading the first Manic Expression book, which is this one here, I noticed you mentioned Judas's name. And why was that? In a lot of the stories.
Yeah, actually, the particular story is called Bloodshot, and it was a story that I started. I had absolutely no idea what I was going to be writing, and so I sat down and I just started making up names, and sort of gave myself the challenge of, okay, there's a character named Judas. Who is this guy, and what is his story? To tell the truth, the name Judas, it was just a name that I thought kind of fit that character. And
oh, did you think it was in the biblical sense, Kath?
Yes, I did.
Actually, there was somebody said that they thought that the character of Judas was based off of in A Christmas Carol, when the ghost of Christmas Present pulls back his robes and he's got the two starved children underneath. And I said, yeah, okay, that's what it was based on. I like that. So I use that now, and I say that was what was on my mind, but really I was just making it up as I went.
Oh, so Judas came out in every story, just about, and see, I thought it was kind of like on a spiritual thing, like Judas was, what, the deceptive one? He was,
yeah, he was, what would you say in the biblical sense? He betrayed, he was the betrayer.
Yeah, I mean, the only moment in the story where the name actually has any significance is when he betrays somebody, and then the guy says, well, I guess I should have seen that coming. But that was the only time in the biblical sense it meant anything.
And this book, there's what, 11 short stories in there? Short stories meaning quite long short stories, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they were all quite good.
Now, they were different. Every single one of them totally different.
One of them, yes.
Oh.
It was very different. And see, to me, it meant was the reader to reflect on their own deceitful ways and kind of like to reflect on their own higher power, or just something that you came up with and went with?
That was, I mean, one of the questions that I wanted people to ask themselves is, you know, what they believe, and you know, if you know, that could mean that they don't believe in anything. That could mean that they make that choice, and but I think it's something that everybody should have an opinion on. So I had hoped that would be raised in people's minds.
Now, you grew up here in Lakewood, you say? And your background was Long Beach, all of Long Beach. So that's where you grew up primarily then, yes?
Yeah, I actually moved out here to Long Beach when I was 19. So I did my growing up in Long Beach, and you know, it was a great city to live in and be young in, and I never felt that it was a city that really got any credit. It was a city that
It keeps getting forgotten about, doesn't it? It seems to, but not so much now because of the Queen Mary, because it seems to be the Greenwich Village of Los Angeles, I think. So, and there's a lot of writers, there's a lot of coffee shops. It reminds me a little bit of the 70s era around here now. It's kind of going back to that. So is that where you get all your, you know, your writing abilities from?
Yeah, it was really the stories all, at the time that I started putting the book together, none of them were connected in any way. And I decided that they would just all be set in Long Beach, and that gave the book a reason to exist.
Yeah, so anybody reading it, they're reading about streets they know about, is that right? Because you've read it, I haven't, so sorry. But at least I'm honest.
I did familiarize myself with Long Beach from the book because I haven't really been in much of the area, but streets that he talked about in the book, I was like, oh, I know that street. Oh, I know that street. I know where he's talking about. You know, so yeah, I did get familiar with Long Beach from the book, and I enjoyed that. And you look fairly young, yes?
Yes.
Yes. So you're what, 20?
28.
28, and you started writing?
Started writing professionally, or just started writing?
Started writing when you made your first book?
I was 26 when my first book came out.
Wow.
And you have 3 books out, actually, don't you?
Actually, the first one, Bloodshot, is reprinted in here.
All right, so really people get 2 for 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa. I'm sorry, go on, Catherine.
No, I haven't read Bloodshot, so now I'm dying to...
Well, Bloodshot was in here, so...
was it?
So it was one of the stories,
it was the very first story in the book was Bloodshot. It didn't get as big an audience as I had hoped for, so I decided to try and give it a second chance.
That's always a good reason, isn't it, Kat?
Yes. Wow. Okay, then that must have been the first story that I read.
That was the very first story you read.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was the one that got you hooked. And I'm like, can I have the book? You're like, no.
I wouldn't give it back.
Well, then you better read it, and then you're going to interview James, okay? And you go, okay. So that was pleasant.
Yeah, it was very captivating. It captured me from the very get-go. I mean, I couldn't put the book down. It was very, very good. You did very good on writing the stories.
Thank you.
It went from detail to detail to detail, no skipping around. I mean, I knew exactly where I was when I was reading the book. I was in your shoes at the time that I was reading it, because it was very, I mean, with excitement and detail, totally.
So does he paint the canvas, and then you see the picture actually coming on the canvas?
You can actually picture yourself being at the moment in the book, and you got to read the book, Mo.
I will. I will now.
It is very, very.
But I couldn't get it. You were reading it.
Well, he has a
copy. This copy is for you.
Oh, bless.
It is very good, and all your stories seem to be written with a lot of detail. Now, you say that a lot of them were fiction, nonfiction. How many of them were nonfiction and were fiction?
I'd say that there's. Every character in the book is a different part of me. I mean, there are times when I'm thinking of other people or people I've known, and but you know, it's always my words coming out of their mouth. So.
So you're putting a little bit of your soul out there for people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's really.
Well, the best compliments I've ever gotten are when I write something and I really think, you know, this was way too personal and nobody's going to get it, and then somebody reads it and they go, how did you know what my life was like? And this book was about me, and so that's always the best compliment that I ever get, is when somebody says that.
Wow. Kath, we're already 10 minutes into the interview. We've got another 5 minutes left, so we better be asking him some more questions, girl.
Well, when we were talking out in front before the interview, I was saying that there were a couple parts in there where I reflected on my own, because one story talks about a credit card debt, and he went to the father, and the father was the one that had turned him in, and I says, wow, that really reflected on me, because, you know, it seems like we all have some part of the book in us, because it talks about the credit card debt, it talked about him having to give up the girlfriend in the first story. every story was absolutely great. I can't tell you how much. It is so good. You know, so you got to read the book.
I will.
You have to.
And then you came out with book 2, and is that something totally different?
No, the stories are still, it's basically just a it was supposed to be one book.
Right.
And then the publisher, the day I turned it in, called me and said, there's no way that we can do this as one book. So I scrambled and ripped it apart and put it back together as a 2-volume set.
All right. And people can
read that one.
Yeah. And people can get these books from where?
They're available, just about any major bookstore website has it, and there are copies available at Open Bookstore on Winnepearo and 4th.
Okay.
I tried going to get another copy of the book for my husband, and I couldn't get a copy. I had to order the copy, so they didn't have it at Barnes & Noble's where I tried to go get it. But they said that they would order it for me. So I do have it on order.
Oh.
And do you have any upcoming events for book signings?
No, not right now. There's nothing planned.
So, but people can maybe go to a website and keep up on it when they see the show. Would you?
Yeah, there is a
where?
website, jamesdanielwalsh.com, that has all the book's information and how to order it, and a link to the MySpace page that I set up for it.
Okay. Okay, Kathy, so that's a thumbs up on the book for you.
2 thumbs.
All right, then. And thank you, James, for coming in.
You've got to get this book. You have to read it because it is very good. Very good. I'm telling you.
All right. Thanks for coming in, James.
Thank you.
It's lovely
It was good
meeting
talking
you.
to
Nice talking to you.
And come back and see us again when you write the next book.
Will do.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the second part of the Long Beach and with Mo show. In the studio we have Run Doris Run, the band.
What's going on?
Yay! Okay, introduce yourselves and what each of you do, please.
I'm Ryan, I sing and play guitar.
I'm Steven and I play lead guitar.
I'm Jared and I play bass.
I'm Mike and I play drums.
All
That's what we do.
And that's it. That's the end of the interview. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
No. Okay. Now you've been touring. You were on the Warped Tour, and it was. Tell us a bit about that and what, because you were doing a rather special thing too, or Russ was with you. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, Russ has a company called Music Saves Lives, and it's about giving blood and stuff. And you know, and if you give blood, you get into Warped Tour and you get a backstage pass.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool thing. And then we were on it, supporting that, helping out, playing acoustic, selling our CDs. It was a long, hot summer.
But a fun summer, wasn't it?
Summer, yes.
So how long is the Warped Tour? Like 4 months or something?
The Warped
like
Tour
that?
is just over summer, so it's like
2.5 months.
Yeah,
2.5 months.
Maybe even less.
And you did how many shows in that 2.5 months?
46?
I thought it was like 60.
Or 60 days, but there was like 46 or 47 shows on the whole tour, which was pretty
Really?
brutal.
And so you've really got to know each other well. How long has the band been together?
I think it's coming up on 6 years now, in January.
Yeah.
And you write all your own music.
Yes, we do.
It's all original.
Yes.
Are you signed?
No,
No.
not
Of course not.
No.
I know.
But you know, sometimes I don't really think that's the way to go nowadays, because you can cut out the middleman and just sell your own
Do it
CDs.
yourself, yeah.
I'm really all for that.
Yeah, that's what we were doing on the Warped Tour. I mean, we were just walking around and selling CDs, and we sold like 10,000 or something like that, just the 4 of us. And you know, we don't have a record label, but we got on Billboard charts, and we just did it on our own. It worked.
And you get a lot of hits on the MySpace page too.
Yeah,
don't
definitely.
you?
Yeah, a lot of the
'Cause,
kids connect to that.
Yeah, because everybody's like, Because when you get like over 1 million hits, then they knock you off, don't they? And then you start up again or something.
Is it like that? I don't know. We're not at a
When
million
it
hits right
starts-
now.
When we reach that point, we'll let you know. And then, no, I'm just kidding.
That's the way it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see people there with their cameras. Okay, we're coming up to it. No, maybe they don't now, but apparently there was a band there that said, yeah, we had 1 million hits and they just took it off. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's not fun.
Yeah, that's crappy.
But so now, if people want to, they can get hold of you from the MySpace page. They can see where you're playing from the MySpace page as well. What do you want to tell people about yourselves?
We have a new CD coming out on November 25th called Vultures, and we'd love it if all you guys went out and got it, because we think it's really good, and I think you guys will like it. But
how long has it taken you to put this CD out, this next new CD?
We wrote a full 10 songs for the record, and then we ended up throwing 9 of those away, and we rewrote a whole CD because we weren't really into it.
Really?
And I mean, the recording process, what was like 9 months or something?
A long time.
It was.
Yeah, it took us a long time
for
to
us.
get in the studio, just rewriting parts and rewriting lyrics, and finally just trying to make it perfect.
After 9 months, the baby was born. Or
Yes.
was born on the 25th of November.
Yes.
Yes.
And people can buy it online.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing a pre-sale through Smart Punk for the actual hard copy, and we'll also be doing. What is it?
We'll be selling it online too.
Online.
We're probably going to release it online earlier than November 25th.
Yeah.
So you can buy it online, and then
Yeah.
November 25th is when we're releasing the hard copy of it.
Okay.
So.
Okay, and for bands that sell their own CDs and everything is in, you help these guys by buying the CDs, by buying the T-shirts and anything else that they have online, right? Because that helps you make more of your music and make more CDs.
Exactly.
So let them carry on and be artistic, and they're going to be artistic in the studio because you're going to give us a couple of songs, right?
Yeah, we're gonna
acoustically,
so.
and that's totally not you as acoustic, right?
Yeah.
So this
Try best.
this is going to be a new thing.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
I really
thank you.
appreciate you
Thanks for
taking
having
the
us.
time
Thank you very
out
much.
Thank
of your
you.
tour, and we're going to be seeing more of these guys. So as I said, with Sick Puppies, go see these guys in the smaller venues because they'll be playing the bigger ones soon. Thank you.
This one's called What Am I Gonna Do? Drunk on the champagne I'm pressing you in. I cut my hands and lip with the poison that makes time pass quick. And who am I to blame it on the timing? We're always living and we're always dying. Thank you. This next one's called Amen. How much longer can I pretend that it's okay? The fuse is getting shorter, we're only seconds away, and our apathetic behavior won't help in any way. I've lost track of time and I'm scared to say goodbye. When my kingdom meets its demise, I'll be inside. Anna's crying like a wolf in the middle of the night. I have given all I can give. When will I get mine? Come save me for once, and I swear this moment will last forever. You push me over the edge. Now I have nothing left, and I can't fall back to you. Well, I've learned nothing in all of my time, not one damn thing. I don't know what to think anymore, or who to believe. Blanket lies covers our eyes. I keep my eyes open at night, waiting for that moment to come, and I say I'll sleep when I die. You push me over the edge. Now I have nothing left, and I can't fall back to you. Cross your fingers with a rabbit's foot, throw your coins in a wishing well. Kiss the cross around your neck, praying don't forget to say amen. You push me over the edge. Now I have nothing left, and I can't fall back to you. You push me over the edge. Kiss the cross around your neck, praying don't forget to say amen. This one is called The Anchor. Well, I wanna be the anchor that you see. Well, I How can I say someone